Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Pink and Channels. It must be summer. Norwich City have completed their first signing of the transfer window. Before it's even opened, Isaac Hayden joins them on a season-long loan from Newcastle United with an obligation to buy based on performance-based criteria, which I would imagine is probably appearances or potentially a promotion back to the Premier League as well. Isaac Hayden already has two of those under his belt with Hull City and Newcastle. Joining me to speak a little bit more about Norwich City's new recruit is Andrew Musgrove. Andrew, thank you so much for joining me at what is very short notice. So appreciate that. Talk to us a little bit about Isaac Hayden and what Norwich City fans can expect from him.
I think it's a great signing for Norwich City. I think Isaac Hayden is above championship standards. So if indeed you guys do go up next season, which he has already stated is the aim, you will have a midfielder who is more than capable of doing the job in the Premier League. There was a lot of Newcastle fans, I would say most really, who were devastated when news filtered through that he had a serious injury. He really was a key part of the squad in the latter seasons that he was at Newcastle. He's a man that does the dirty work, that doesn't necessarily get the headlines, breaks up the play, makes the short little passes, gets his foot stuck in, which I think is a really, really difficult job to do. It's a really important job, but it just doesn't get those headlines on the back pages or on the websites, and sometimes it can get bypassed. And I think it's a great signing for Norwich City, and someone that will just pull the strings a little bit in midfield, especially in the Championship, and will be a real asset to Norwich City's promotion hopes next season.
We had a little bit of an idea this was coming, so I spent the day watching little clips of him, and he speaks about how much he loves tackling, and I've seen a few sort of tweets subsequently since this has been confirmed from Newcastle fans talking about that. So is that fair to say? I mean, you mentioned the quality on the ball, but fair to say he's a physical, tough tackler as well?
Yeah, he doesn't necessarily look like one. He's quite thin and slim built, but he does get stuck in. He's not afraid of a challenge, and where he plays, kind of, you would say he's a defensive kind of midfielder. Just breaks up the play, but then he's quick to react to it as well. So he's got his foot stuck in. He can get the ball and he can sort a counter attack out. He's very athletic. He's a leader as well. I think that's one of the key things before the takeover here at Newcastle. Things weren't going well, and he didn't hold anything back. He's one of those players who stood up, came out and called it as it was. And I know Newcastle fans really appreciated his honesty when he did come out and say exactly how he felt. He just called it how it was, and I think that's a really key element of his character. It wasn't always good times for him on Tyneside. It's no secret that he wanted to leave pretty early on after that Championship season. And he got sent off against Cardiff, and fans want his back. He made it clear in the January of that season that he still wanted to leave. There was, he wanted to be closer to his family. There was, I think his little daughter had issues when she was first born. Thankfully, she's all good now, and I think they were quite settled up here in Tyneside. But I think it was the case of first team football, and that wasn't guaranteed here at Newcastle. He's mentioned how he spoke to Dean Smith and was impressed, how he spoke to Stuart Webber and was impressed with the project ahead. And I think the chance to get first team football regularly, probably be one of the first names on the team sheet, is a big draw for Isaac Hayden. And like I say, he knows how good he is. He knows that he's better than the Championship, and that's probably another draw into it. It's a good chance for him to get back to sharpness, get back to match fitness after a long layoff with injury, and do it in a team that are at the right end of the table.
How would you assess his 6 years at Newcastle United? As you said, they're very, very popular, but it seems like he's had ups and downs during that spell as well, with obviously what you said there about wanting to leave and injuries, but also probably a lot of ups. I've seen a lot saying that he probably excelled a lot under Rafa Benitez. Is that an assessment that you would agree with?
And under Steve Bruce, he was very good as well, and I think he will be applauded every time he comes back to Newcastle, a bit like Tim Krul is. The fans really appreciate what Tim did when he was at Newcastle, and the same will be here for Isaac Hayden, especially, like I say, bouncing back after how difficult it was initially after that Championship season. Again, that honesty shone through, but when it was clear that Newcastle would only sell him if the right bid came in, if they could get a replacement, he got his head down and he worked hard, and I think fans really applauded that. They like a player who puts everything into it, and he put his heart and soul into playing for Newcastle United. I think, if the takeover hadn't happened, fans would have been a little bit upset at him leaving. But as it is, this is where Newcastle are now. They are looking to move on, and he's part of that old guard who can look back on their time at Newcastle with their heads held high. Because without that old guard, without that foundation, Newcastle probably wouldn't have been in a position to have been taken over and looking ahead. As it is, things are looking very positive. But Isaac Hayden played a big part in that.
Yeah, it's not a bad championship record that he has. 2 promotions in 2 seasons at that level. I mean, to cast your mind back, what was he like in the championship? What sort of did his quality show? I suppose is probably the question. What can Norwich City fans expect from the championship, and does that differ from what you've seen from him in the Premier League subsequently?
I think you just got an idea of how athletic he was, and all his his attributes, like I mentioned there, just getting his foot stuck in and breaking up the play. I think, going up a level, he maybe found it a little bit tough, but it's in the latter years where you really looked at him and you thought, he is a good quality Premier League player. Is he a top 6? No, but I think he's better than Championship standard, and I think Norwich City fans will see that when he pulls on the shirt for the first time, and I think he'll be a really good leader to have in the dressing room, because it won't be an easy task to get promoted. But when you've got that experience that he has, you've got that know-how, and you've got something to prove as well. He wants to prove that he can get back to the level he was before the injury and do it on a regular basis. And all them elements play into something that could prove to be a very shrewd move for Norwich City.
You've mentioned the injury record. Is that something that Norwich City fans should be concerned about? I mean, you've just mentioned they had a long layoff with a knee injury. Should they be concerned with that, or actually is his history at Newcastle United shown him to be someone who's available quite often?
I'll be honest, I can't remember off the top of my head, his record with injury, but to my knowledge, he's had 1 or 2. But I just think that's just bad luck in football. He's not someone who I think has got an injury record that falls him round. I think he's just been a little bit unfortunate. He has, I think, played through the pain barrier at certain points, which again shows his character. But no, I don't think that's anything to worry about. I think, like most footballers, it's just bad luck, isn't it?
Absolutely. Andrew, I'm going to let you go because I know you've got to run. I really appreciate your time and for jumping on with me and giving us a really good insight of what Norwich City fans can expect from Isaac Hayden. First through the door this summer for Norwich City as they step up their recruitment drive ahead of the championship season. It's going to be an interesting summer, as it always is at Carrow Road. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again very soon.
We live Norwich City. The build-up.
The passion.
The drama.
The last-minute winners.
The debate.
That's why we've created Pink and Plus, the app that takes you beyond the headlines.
With exclusive columns, blogs, podcasts and videos, we've got you covered.
Subscribe today. Pink and Plus. Stay ahead of the game.